Hello, friends. I hope all of you are doing very well. Once again, I'm here with one of these interesting stories, which is based on how we're supposed to control our anger and why it is really needed, why we are supposed to, work on our impulsive mode and behavior. Okay, so once upon a time there was this very beautiful, a pretty girl, and she was so goddamn pretty that anybody just looks at her, they are not able to take their eyes off. And she was so pretty. So what happened that as there is a saying that everybody cannot be perfect. Similarly, this girl was so pretty, but the only problem with her was she has very bad anger, and she was very short tempered, and out of anger she ends up misbehaving with others, and she's very impulsive, very turbulent, very difficult to manage. So her friends, family, everybody, they were like very sick and tired of her habits. So what happened that one fine day her father decided that he is going to do something, you know to make her daughter realize, to make his daughter, I'm sorry, to make his daughter realize that how she can work on her this behavior. And in order to make her realize that, it was very important for her father to make her realize uh, what and how the other person gets impacted because of her anger. When she's angry, she ends up saying, a lot of things which she's not supposed to say. She ends up misbehaving which she's not supposed to behave. So that's all things happens. So her father, okay, her father told her that I'm going to give you an activity. Okay, if you will win in this activity, you're going to get a prize. And the activity is, um, he bought some nails, um, nails and hammer. He gave it to her, and he asked her that from now on, for the next 30 days, what you need to do is, whenever you will misbehave with anybody, you get angry, and so anytime if you are not behaving properly, out of anger, you say something that you're not supposed to say to anybody, at that time you will put this nail in the wall, and you have to do the same activity for the next 30 days. She agreed. She started doing that. For the first day, she ended up like placing 30 nails in the wall. Next day onwards, second day, third day, and so on, this started reducing. So by third day, instead of 30, it was 20, and then 10, 5, and so on. After 15 days, once again her father came to her, and he told her that now you have to do a reverse activity. Whenever you behave properly with people, whenever you are able to control your anger, at that time, just go ahead and pull that nail out of the wall. She started doing that, and by end of the month, by end of that 30 days, uh, once this activity got completed, she was very happy. She came to her father and she said, look, by end of 30 days, I removed all the nails from the wall, and the wall is blank, there's no nails inside, which means I did a superb work in controlling my anger, and I have been able to win this activity. So father said, absolutely, you did a great job. However, if you will take a close look at the wall, you'll be able to see that you are able to remove the nails out of the wall, but you will not be able to fix the damage that has been caused on the wall because of those nails. So The nails are like that, those angry moments, the words that we say out of anger. Okay, those can be erased, that can be fixed. But out of anger, when we say something to someone that is really, um, bad conduct, it's not to be done, we cannot change that later on. Once the mark is already spoiled the relationship, you cannot fix it. So there is one saying, I'm just thinking about it. There was one saying I was reading somewhere, that once you say a word, you cannot take it back. Your mistakes, it can be forgiven, it cannot be forgotten. So similarly, we need to ask ourselves, in today's life we end up getting so impatient, so angry, so short tempered. It's like uh, you know out of every 3 person, 2 person is facing the same problem. That's how people are becoming nowadays. uh, Even I have noticed that, in people who are working in office, just an example, if the boss is like angry, they have a bad day at work, they say anything to you, because just because you cannot retaliate, you cannot answer them back, you come back home and you remove that frustration, that anger on your kids, on your wife, on your husbands, on your boyfriends, on your girlfriends, on your family members, your friends, and so on, which is really not needed. They haven't done anything for which you got to be angry on them. Just because you were not able to, you know give it back to the person who really, made you angry. So you are removing that anger everywhere else. That's really not needed, because in this way you are spoiling your relationship with your friends and your family members. Even if they will understand that you have said things out of anger, they will forgive you. But just because in that, you know seconds, in that seconds of time, in that fraction of seconds, whatever bad things that you must have said, you cannot bring it back. And that will you will end up hurting them, you'll end up making them feel bad, which is really not needed. So I'm not saying this is the problem, that each one of us will have, but I'm talking about myself. I was facing the same problem like a couple of months back, where I was having the same issue. I'm very short tempered, very moody, gets irritated very easily. But when I heard about this story, so I started thinking over, that I will work upon myself. I'll ensure that I will control my anger as much as I can. I'll try to avoid such conflicts, you know, that will create this kind of situation. And I am not going to remove that anger of someone else on somebody else. And I started working on it, and luckily, I'm able to overcome it. It's a very great feeling, I would say. It's very nice, and I would suggest all of you friends to try this out. This will be really helpful for you in your life. Thank you so much for listening me out, and all of you have a great day. Happy Sunday.